Hey guys, this is Nefarious411 and welcome to episode 46 of my modded survival series. In between episodes, I worked a little bit on the other roof of the Mage Tower. I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. I guess it really depends on the angle that I'm looking at it, because down here it just looks like a dome. It doesn't really look that good, but I was hoping to have somewhat of like a backwards S type curve on the other roof, the roof line, but I don't know, I might just keep playing around with it, might go up a little bit higher, push it up, have it more cone-like, I don't know, I might just forget it and just move on, but in between episodes I have done quite a bit of moving. I can't remember where I left off in here, but I have quite a few of these aura nodes. Majority of them have the why is my Wayla not on? The node stabilizer, except for this one. I do have another 3, so I guess I might as well put that on there. Boop. There we go. And I can always do a little bit more. I basically just have to use the wand a few times just to see how fast the V fills up. The other thing that I've been doing, if you remember the end of the episode, was start to grow this node down here. Taking a little bit different direction. I'm not sure about all of these other aspects on it, but I have been basically importing a bunch of nodes into this area. As you can see, I put a few nodes along the edge of this wall and over in the corners, basically far enough where they won't transfer V. That way I can wait for one at a time. In the little arrangement that I had before, I don't think that was very efficient because the aspects, the V was jumping back and forth between different nodes, and it's a little bit lossy. You don't, basically if you have 2 nodes, each with 12 V of any of these types, doesn't necessarily equate to 24 once it drains into the other, and I think that was causing a lot of issues with V loss. So I went ahead and just imported a bunch over here, and I found a pure node that had quite a bit of water and ordo. So I decided to start building on this pure node. I think it might be better. I don't know if it really matters. So right now I'm working on building up the ordo and water. I'll slowly move some of these others over. I've been kind of looking at the ones that have the primal aspects on it and moving those first. See if I can build up at least the primals. Unfortunately, I do have a 4 spiritus on there. I didn't let one of the nodes drain completely. It was stuck at 0, but for some reason it grew back. So I have 4 of the spiritus on there. But in the episode today, I am going to switch outfits, and apparently it's nighttime and I didn't know it. I am wanting to automate a little bit in here, and it is a little bit darker, so I might want to start thinking about lights in here as well. But today I want to work on Golemancy. Yay! So with Golemancy, there's an entire tab in the Thumbonomicon devoted to Golemancy. And this is basically being able to create these little guys, and these little guys can do stuff for you, which is kind of cool. So it's just a matter of putting a little bit of stuff in a crucible, and you'll be able to get these golems, but basically they're kind of inanimate whenever you create them, so you need what's called an animation core, and this is what actually brings them to life. So the first one that I want to deal with is, if you remember whenever I was doing some of the arcane infusion, I was basically having to babysit, and it actually looks like I have some aspects left over in there. Basically coming in here and seeing, oh, I have herba, so let me grab the herba jar, right click on it and fill it up, and so on. That's annoying. I don't want to have to do that myself, so I need these little guys to go ahead and do that for me. And I think I'm going to go with maybe tallow golems, because all of their attributes are on the left-hand side of the page here. You can see that the average durability doesn't really matter on this one because he's not going to be in any danger, I don't believe. I cannot remember where I put the magnum torch. I did put a magnum torch in here somewhere. I think I put it right below this floor. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so I put it under this floor. Oh, and this is another thing. I went ahead and added the Ender IO reservoir in here. Put it sideways so it doesn't take up too much space. And basically ran conduits all the way up. And let me see if I can grab my Yeta wrench so that we can see them. Basically so that I can keep this crucible full of water instead of having the water supply over here and having buckets on hand. So let me go ahead and break this and replace it. And you can see, fills up automatically. Yay! So now I don't have to do all of that manual process. So yet another automation for the win. And now it's boiling because of the night torb down below. Alright, so let me take a look in the Thaumonomicon back at the Tallow Golem. Carry limit 8, self-repair average. I don't really care about those. 8 is probably good enough, and I can upgrade 2. And upgrades are basically these little things. I had to do the research, but because they're the hexagon shape, I had to think about that for a little bit. They basically just cost the amount of aspects, your research points, but you don't actually have to do the mini games on these. But all of these, like the upgrade, this increases the range and accuracy of attacks. Probably is not necessary for the decanting golem, but I would probably do something more on like the order upgrade. So that greater control, what they do and where they do it. So that's probably a good thing to do. I don't think I'm going to need, I might use speed. I'm not sure. Basically making him go a little bit faster. Don't think I'm going to need sight. And I can't remember which one's sight. So earth is strength. I'm not sure. Melee attacks? Okay. Well, anyways, so let me go ahead and create my golem. Let's see what it would take to do this. I need to create what's called Magic Tallow, which is 2 Precantatio and a rotten piece of flesh in there. And let me just take a look in my network. Great wood logs have 1 plus 3 of the arbor. I am not sure which one, what's the best source of Precantatio with minimal overflow here. I could look at all of the different shards, but I think those have quite a bit of other stuff on them. Netherwort might be a good idea. Let me take a look at Netherwort. It probably has yeah, the fire. Wait. That doesn't. Oh, wait. Why was I looking at Netherrack? Netherwort. Alright, so this is probably a little bit better because this only has 1 herba and 1 Precantatio instead of the 3 of the arbor that I was going to get otherwise. So this is 1 and 1. And to get Magic Tallow, I need 2 Precantatio, so let me go ahead and throw. Gotta be careful around this. If you accidentally drop something in there that you want, can't get it back. So I am going to do that. 1, 2. 1 of these. There we go. Magic Tallow. So let me go ahead and create all of the Magic Tallow that I need. How many did I need? 9 to create me a tallow block. So let me go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Alright, I was able to create the tallow block, and I do have a few excess items in here. Probably not that big of a deal. You can see that they're basically breaking down because herba was consistent of, I guess, the life. I can't remember what herba is, but you can see that it's just breaking down into the primal things and dissipating into the air. And right now there's no flux, so I should be fine. It's actually going away fairly quickly, which is kind of good. So looking in the Thaumonomicon, I went ahead and pulled some ingredients for the next part. Basically need 8 Humanus, 8 Modus, and 8 Spiritus. And right now, I guess this is going to be as good as I'm going to get. These do have additional aspects on it, which, good or bad, I don't know. It'll probably cause a lot of overflow, but we'll just have to see. So 8 Modus, 8 Humanus, and there's 1 on each of these, but there's quite a bit of the... I can't even remember what that other aspect is, the little meat sickle there. And Spiritus, which I was going to get from Soul Sand. Oh, there's a little bit of mess, as you can see, a little bit of goop. Can I just... No, I can't do that. Maybe one of these. At least it didn't float. As long as this guy... Dang it, it fell in. As I was saying, as long as that guy doesn't fall in. Alright, so I was going to get Soul Sand because I think that's the only thing really decent on Spiritus. Some of the other items either are too expensive to even bother with, or they have a lot of aspects on it, such as heads and hearts. If I take a look at heads, you can see that they have quite a few additional aspects on it. So probably don't want those. What happened to my Thaumonomicon? Tato Golems 888. Alright, and then the catalyst is this guy. So I need... Let me just double check. 111. Alright, so 8 of these. These. One of those. There we go. And quite a bit of stuff remaining. Yay. Wonder if I could just cover up the top. That would be kind of interesting. If I could use like a piston or something to cover this and prevent it from spilling over. I might actually look into that. But next, obviously, he basically just sits there looking sad. Doesn't do anything. Oops, don't hurt him. Probably not a good idea. He does self-repair eventually, but probably don't want to hit him. So in order to pick him up, we actually need what's called a Golemancer's Bell. And this is pretty simple. It's just a little bit of nether quartz and a stick. So nether quartz, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't have a stick on me. Here we go. Just one of you, and I also need my wand, so might as well come over here and grab that real quick. And eventually we'll do something about this wand, but for now let's go ahead and throw this in here, and bam, Golemancer's Bell. And shift left click will actually pick them up. Yay! Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the next step, because he's just sitting there all lonely and all. We need to actually make him alive, and that's going to require quite a bit of this stuff. I want to get the alchemy, which is basically the ability to move essentia all around, which is basically all of the aspects whenever you melt it in the alchemical furnace right there. We need to have him take bottles and bring them and distribute them all the way across all of these water jars. Couldn't remember the name of it. In order to do that, it will require a little bit of arcane infusion, but I also need a decanting core, which is basically an animation core, a blank one. A little bit of water and a little bit of vacuous. Yeah, this isn't too bad. Just need a few bricks. Just normal bricks. So let me see if I have any clay. Yeah, let me go ahead and cook this up. There There we go. And we should be able to get bricks. And I think I have, yep, 1 night tour still. I probably need to start automating this at some point. Because otherwise it's a big pain to manually cook this stuff up. So let me go ahead and probably should get a faster furnace in here, but right now I don't have any power. Didn't really want power down here. Wow, that's a lot of aspects. I am just going to break you and hope for the best. Whoa, making a big mess. Let me just grab any kind of stone or block. I think this is like the only way to really cover this up. Destroy it is to put blocks on top of it. There we go. I think that's all I need to do. I don't know if it actually does anything bad to the environment, but we'll see. Alright, what was I doing? I need these. Surround the bricks around the night tour. And we have blank animation core and Thaumonomicon. Can't remember how many water and how many aqua. 5 aqua and 5 vacuous. All right. Vacuous. I think if I get some planks, can I craft you? Running a little slow apparently. Hello? Planks. Can you craft for me? There we go. Thank you. Alright, so grab a few of these, and if I were to create some bowls, those have 1 vacuous each, so that is perfect. I think this is the most efficient in regards to vacuous, so I am going to create 20 of those. That sounds good. I only need 5, and aqua. I think the source of aqua would be like sugarcane, which has, that has a little, I haven't scanned that. And that's the reason why. What would have the better aqua? I think the sugarcane would be the best, even though it has 3 aspects on it. Price-wise, I think aqua from sugarcane was probably the best bet. So let me go ahead and grab some of those. I only need 5 of each of these, and that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why isn't it splashing? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And throw in this. Now we have a decanting animation core and a little bit of excess. Let's just hope that it goes away. Alright, so now that we have that, we have the decanting, and this one basically it's a little bit more on the dumb side. You can just tell it how much to carry and what to carry, but I kind of want him to be a little bit more self-sufficient, and this is going to require the arcane infusion to make him an alchemy animation. So I need water bottles, 3 water bottles, and a warded jar, and all of these aspects. So let me go ahead and gather these things. I haven't even checked to see if I have them, but once I have them, I will come back and we will go ahead and do the infusion for this. Alright, so as you can see, we are in the process of doing the arcane infusion, and it's sucking in all of the items around it, and it should be done. Yay. Nice. Alright, so now we have the alchemy animation core, which is very, very cool. So I am going to actually stick you right there, and bam! And you can see that he has his own little tiny warded jar, and it's already full of stuff. So now we just have to tell him where to go. But there might be a little problem with this, and we'll solve it here in a little bit. But as you can see, if I can right-click on him, you can see this little circle. If I didn't have the bell, I can't see that. Basically, that little circle tells him he's bound to that object, and all I have to do is click over here, and he's basically bound to this row, and I just have to repeat this on all of these rows. And as soon as I come up with an empty jar, or this one right here is arbor, he will actually find it and be like, oh, I can actually fill that. So he comes over here, fills it up. You can see his little jar is empty. Fills it up a little bit more. He goes over there. Yay! Haha! So this is going to make it a lot easier. The only issue that I have right now is because a lot of the things that I'm putting in here are like trapdoors and stuff, and trapdoors are not single aspect items. They actually have few items. The only reason I needed it was for the modus right there, but it obviously had the arbor aspect on it as well. So I don't really need any more than 64 of these aspects or essentia. So what I want to do is actually create what's called a void jar. And let me take a look in here. See if I can find it under alchemy. It'll be void jar, and this is basically to allow the golem, because right now as it is with the little brown tops, if one of them becomes full, which is just 64 of these little essentia items, he will basically stop and stand over here unless there's an empty jar. If there's an empty jar, he'll fill that. I don't want that. So with a void jar, he will actually continue filling this jar. Even though it's full, it'll just void the excess, and that's probably a good idea. I don't really need more than 64 of any given type. So what I want to do is go ahead and create those, and it does require the creation of more of these essentia jars. So let me go ahead and put my wand in there. I can't remember if it's just normal glass or glass panes. I think it's glass panes. So let me do that. Yep, there it is. Cool. So create some warded jars, and I believe it was a little bit of obsidian. So let me grab some of that. And what was on the bottom? A little bit of blaze powder. Ooh, I don't have any blaze powder. Well, I should have blaze rods. I don't feel like going downstairs, so yes, this is probably inefficient, but I am going to do it in my hand just to create these. There we go. So now I should be able to come up here and replace these, but in order to replace them, I need to drain one into the other. So what I can do with that is this. And I also want to create labels for everything, and that's going to require some paper, any kind of black dye, slime ball. So let me go ahead and do that while I'm at it. I am running out of inventory space. Paper, nope, I got paper on me, but that's not going to be enough. So let me grab that. Ink sacs, got plenty of these. I've been converting these squid plant seeds into ink sacs. Can't even talk. Oh, it's been one of those days. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And this creates 4. I think I only need like 52-ish. I'm probably... Oh, that's interesting. Probably I could use more later, but this will probably be sufficient for now. And if I come over here, I want to void, I don't know, let me void arbor first. And throw those on the ground, unfortunately. Put my pipe there. I want one of these void jars. Boop, boop, oops. Here we go. And see if I can do this. Does it need to be closer? I swore I did this before. Oh, you know what? I need a vial. Let me take a look. How do I create one of those vials? glass files. Alright, so clay, and I already have a little bit of glass down here, so let me go ahead and create one of those. And wow, my inventory's full. There we go. Alright, so another way to create one of these, and my inventory's full. Let me go ahead and throw back some of this excess. Basically take one of these, and this will give you 8 arbor. Apply it on a label, and you have a actual label with a name on it. And if I label that guy, there we go. Since I have this one labeled as arbor, it'll actually pull from this jar to that jar. That's pretty cool. And I think it's done. Nice. So I could probably just leave this set up. And now it's also cool because the jar's labeled and ready to go already. So I am going to repeat this process on all of my jars just to make sure that I have all of the aspects in the void jars, and I will be back as soon as I can. Alright, I am back, and I was able to replace majority of my jars up here, and I did a little bit of rearrangement, mainly because the golem didn't seem to be able to reach this far or past, so I kind of moved everything a little bit closer. Even though it's not really necessary, I put all of the primal aspects, essence, V, whatever it's called, on this side, and some of the more highly used ones, such as the Precantatio, the Potentia, and stuff like that. And eventually over here I'll have the things that are not used quite as often. And he also seems to have a range, or a max height of 2, so the third row didn't work out too well. I still have... Do I still have any jars? Oh. I guess they are all warded. For some reason I thought there was at least one more. The reason I'm having some issues is because my wand is insufficient V. And over here, I have basically drained a majority of my... whatever this aspect's called. My mind's drawing a blank. Of the dark essence, whatever that is. The black one on the far left. Wow. My brain. But anyways, so this is going to take a little bit, because each one of those warded jars takes 15 of that and like 5 of the aqua. So I am going to probably do this in between episodes. Just going through my network, finding things that can fill each of the different types of aspects. Probably take a look at my Thaumonomicon just to double check that I have all of these things. As you can see, arbor is quite a few, so I definitely have that one. I did the cognito. Ooh, potatoes. I should do that one because I don't have fames, but it's going to take a little bit until I can create all of these warded jars, since it takes an enormous amount of V to do. Even with the Thaumaturge robes and the V discounts, it still takes quite a bit. So, I believe that I've hit that wrapping up point. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you could rate and comment down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. And also, if you like the series, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But for now, this is goodbye.